Hi, and welcome to Musicians Hangout with your host, Crash Fistfight from Dissonant Chaos and Fatal Butterfly, and Maxine Maxwell from the Maxwells.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. It's great to be back.
Happy Wednesday.
Hello.
I can't believe it's Wednesday already.
I know. It's a really fast week, definitely. Oh, my goodness.
It has been.
So we got a whole new episode for you guys, week 46. We'll introduce the guest right after I go over the mission statement. And our mission statement for Musicians Hangout is to be part of a revolution to create friendships with other artists and build a community network to save music.
And that we are trying to save music, especially now. Like, this coronavirus is a killer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every show is canceled for it seems like forever.
I know. The whole festival season this summer is canceled, and I'm so bummed.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Fair.
Yeah. So we're here to get, a positive light on this quarantine stuff. So, we want to introduce our next guest, and it is Brian Hardy. He's from Oregon. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you.
Welcome to Musicians Hangouts.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Portland, Oregon, and I have lived there my whole life, or I had lived there my whole life up until about 10 months ago. I started playing music when I was really young. Fortunately, I'm really happy to have been able to, where I'm from, just where I'm from, or do you want me to go into my music stuff?
Yeah, tell us about your musical journey. How did you?
Please, yes, okay. We want to know about your music journey. How old were you? What was your first instrument?
Okay, cool. Well, so yeah, being born in Portland, I mean, kind of one of the things, I'm 35 years old, and so I was born in '84 in Portland, and it's kind of crazy because right now it's like a really, really well known, it's a really popular city for music, or a lot of bands, bigger bands are coming out of there. And growing up in the 80s and 90s, you had the whole grunge thing, I guess, going on, but I don't know, there definitely wasn't nearly as much of a supportive music community, I guess, that right now. Or I guess it was just more underground, of course, and because of not having the internet. And so from when I was born until I was 11, I lived with my sister and my mom, and they were both dancers. They were both they were both dancers, did modern dance. And so some of my first memories with music are going to my mom's dance classes at PSU. And it's kind of funny, I remember early on, in the class, in the course, I decided that I was going to be a student of the class too, and so I would just be in the back trying to imitate all their moves and everything. And so there was a lot of pop music in the house when I was really young, and so I completely became obsessed with New Kids on the Block and everything, and Michael Jackson, in his cool, this is, of course, in his cool phase, so it was kind of funny because my mom, my very first instrument that my mom got for me was a plastic guitar with a microphone connected to it. And she had also gotten me these VHS tapes. I was God, maybe 6 or 7. And these VHS tapes of like like of New Kids on the Block like performing live, and like they, because of like how their microphones were, they were like wireless mics, and I remember like just obsessing over how their microphones were angled and everything, and like because of the fact that their microphones were wireless, I like went down stairs to where this new like this little like plastic guitar and microphone thing like had that my mom had gotten me for Christmas, and I cut the cords, and I didn't even like realize I was like breaking it or whatever. um but I think that's the first memory, like first memory of a musical instrument. And uh um so yeah, it was kind of like oddly like yeah, like in my first like growing like first younger years, there was a lot of like pop music in the house. And then my mom married my stepdad, and he was a guitarist who had been like he had like toured like the West Coast and stuff, playing in bands. um and his son, my stepbrother Chris, who was also my age, is also my age. We were like, yeah, only like 7 years old, and he was already um like he was already like a really good drummer. Like it was crazy. And because my stepdad listened to a lot of like progressive rock, like Dream Theater,
Oh wow, yeah.
and like of course and like Symphony X and stuff like that, but also like really heavy stuff like Sepultura and stuff like that. And so and my stepbrother Chris, like he was pretty much like you know like a student, like studying Mike Portnoy, the drummer of the first drummer of Dream Theater.
That's an
And
intense drummer, man.
what's that?
He's an intense drummer.
Oh my God, yeah, he is super intense. Like, I mean, yeah, and like it was really cool because Warren, my stepdad, he would take us to see them, and like we would get to we like and we would meet them and stuff, and we'd be
Wow,
like
that's cool.
in fifth grade, like
Dang.
and he would take us to like Mike, like Mike Portnoy, and all the other musicians too. When they're not touring like with the band, they also do these like singular workshop tours, where they do like workshops in places like Guitar Center or whatever. And I remember, yeah, Mike Portnoy would do a lot of workshops at Portland Music in downtown Portland. Sorry, I have the hiccups.
Oh, you're okay.
And we would go see him do that, and
Jeez.
so it was really cool. Like, and so I, of course, was like, well, I gotta. This was long after I had started playing music, but like, so going back to like meeting my brother and everything, he was like drumming, and like he had this like he had this practice set up at in the apartment of my stepdad's apartment. And like every weekend when we would go over there, he would just play, and like he would film himself playing, and then the whole week that he was back at the other parents' house, at our other parents' house, he would just watch this video of him drumming for hours and hours and hours. And so I and so I was like, well, of course, first, it's like, oh, I want to play guitar, but all of our friends, of course, like had already like started playing guitar and everything. And so I was like, well, I'll play bass. And so I started playing bass at the age of like 10 or 11.
Wow.
First bass I ever got was this Rogue. It was like this $100. I don't know if you guys know that brand. It's a brand that like Musician's Friend, I think, only sells.
Oh, really?
Or they did only sell it like for a time when they first came out, but like they're kind of like a really cheap like I don't know, they're
like a starter base, basically.
Yeah. And it was really funny though, because like I was like, it was a birthday present, and my stepdad told me I could pick out any bass I wanted out of the catalog, and I like picked out this like happened to pick out this like $99 like really cheap bass just because it was red or something, and
Sweet.
I guess it was good though because
I like red.
Yeah, right.
My bass is red.
Yeah.
And
my other drum kit's red. The one behind me is backwards on. One behind me is silver.
Sweet.
But my mini is red.
Oh, nice. Whoa, yeah, you have
Mine's blue, as you can see.
Oh yeah, I see it in the background. Oh, nice. Awesome.
La.
Nice.
Pink with
Gosh, yeah, I want to like get a drum set. Like it's been so long since I've had one. I've been working with like, drum machines and stuff for so long.
Well, you're talking to the right people because we would definitely advocate for you to get a drum set.
Yes, we
yeah. It looks like it is.
We're all about drums.
Yeah.
So what kind of kit would you want to get if you were to choose one?
For a drum kit? Oh, yeah. Well, gosh, I mean, well, I guess probably like a Tama Star Classic. I mean, I mean, that seems like the awesome, like the best drum set. That was what my brother played. I ended up, I ended up becoming a bassist, and I still thankfully and like everything I still play today.
That's so cool.
Like I was just telling you before we went live, I just got a new bass the other day. But
nice. You want to see the new bass? Show the new bass.
Oh yeah. You guys want to see it?
Yes, we definitely want to see that new bass.
Yes. Well, so I had to go classic with this. I got the new Fender Jaguar Player Series bass. Ooh. With the it's maple neck and fretboard, and it's got the P&J pickups.
Ooh, there it is.
And it's like a lot of people are kind of like, with orange, it's like either kind of like or like no, it's either like someone's like all about it or not about it, you know what I'm saying? Like they hate it or love it. But I don't know, like with this bass, like I was doing so much like I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm holding it. Like so much like research and everything, because it's like I've owned a lot of basses, and like I just really, really wanted one that was going to be like, like my, like the one that I just like could kill it with.
My boyfriend has that same bass, but it's black on black.
Oh, yeah.
I have to say, I really love the tone of it.
Isn't it so beautiful?
It's really warm.
Yeah. And it's like you can do all. Yeah, it is really warm. I actually remember a couple of years ago, I recorded a session. I was doing like just like a jazz improv session with some friends of mine. And I was playing actually a Squier Jaguar. I have a really funny story actually about how like I came to choose the Jaguar, like other than the fact that it's like extremely comfy, and it sounds amazing. Like I'm totally stoked to have this. The first one that I ever had was like I said a second ago. I actually, oh man, I'll go grab it. Like I just took all of my guitars and stuff like downstairs. I did kind of like recently started like a kind of a project to make like a little bit of a smaller like compact space. But anyways, with the Jaguar, so one time like about I don't know, like 12 years ago, I had like a very little money and like needed a bass to play, and there was a Best Buy in Beaverton that for a little while they had this like Guitar Center like kind of store, I think it was like a Guitar Center type of store, but maybe like a Best Buy's version or something. Like I don't know. It was weird. It was like an experiment they were doing. Like it was just like a little department in the back. And anyways, it was just like this small like kind of showroom with a couple practice or a couple like soundproof rooms so you could go like test instruments out in. And I grabbed like a Squire Jaguar or Squire Jaguar, yeah, and I went into one of the soundproof rooms and started playing it, and was just like totally like playing it like it's just like so comfortable. And I was in there playing for a really long time, and I end up like looking behind me. I'm in there for like an hour and a half, like just like playing away, and I look behind me out the window into the store, and I see just like all pitch black, like, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? And so I walk out the door, and like, and it's like this is a Best Buy. It's like a really big place, and they had like forgotten that I was in there or whatever, and they closed the store. And like without knowing I was in there, and I'm like, because I was like, I'm gonna buy this, yeah. And so like I like walked out, and I was just like, and I'm like, wait, what? And like, so I'm kind of like, hello, like I'm still kind of like I don't know what's going on, like I like this, it's like all the lights are off, but all the TVs and stuff are on. And so you like there's like voices and stuff like you hear, and so you're like, are people here or whatever? And yeah, I ended up because I couldn't find a way out. And I didn't want people to think that I was like robbing the store or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So I had to like call 911 or whatever, and like the police came, and they were just kind of like, what? Like, because I was just standing in the door like, hey, I can't get out of here. Like they closed the store like without letting me, they forgot I was in there, and they're like, okay, I guess just come out the fire exit, like, and so I did that, and the next day I went back and bought the bass, and that bass for a long time was, it was a trooper. I played shows with it and recorded with it and did all the, did everything with it, and so with this, kind of, I guess, project or going, back to getting like a really solid bass that's going to last, what I'm saying, like for a long time, I had to go back with the Jag,
I have an Ibanez bass, and I just absolutely love it.
Awesome. Yeah, I was actually...
It weighs like 5 pounds. It's super light. Like, it's super light.
Oh, really? That's crazy. Yeah. Before this one, I actually still have it downstairs. Y'all go grab it. I have an Ibanez ATK series. That from the 90s. I found this one at hold on, I'll grab it. Sorry, I took.
I have an Ibanez right behind me. That's my husband.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, is that an? Oh, sweet. Is that an? Oh, is that the TMB?
This is the
yeah, is that the TMB series?
No, this is the Squire Jaguar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's exactly like the one. I had a sick body. Did you say that you have an Ibanez behind you too?
Yeah, I do. That's my husband, Ibanez, right there.
I can see it back there.
Is that a sound gear?
Yeah, oh, he's bringing it over. Here it comes.
Oh, awesome.
Yay!
Cool.
That's awesome.
Lovely.
We're all like nerding out about basses. But,
welcome to Musicians Hangout. We're a bunch of nerds about music. Yeah. Okay.
Dope. Oh yeah, it's a sound gear series. Nice. Yeah. It's a 5-string. That's so dope. Yeah. When I was a kid, I like totally. That was like, oh, awesome. Yes. That is so nice.
Ibanez.
Nice. Yeah. This is my Ibanez.
Yeah.
I got this is. I don't even think they make these.
So Ibanez doesn't really make things for long periods of time.
Right.
Yeah. They made this one like back in the 90s for a couple of years. The ATK series, like I saw it at a pawn shop here in McMinnville, and they were only selling it for like $200, and I was like, and because I did some research on the line of bases, and it's like, yeah, they quit making them in like 2001 or something, and so I was like, I should probably get that.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, but
here's my dog. He wants to say hi. Come here.
sweet.
Hi, buddy. See, I knew he was gonna make a freaking entrance. Hey, Joe Booty Booters. Oh.
I'm trying to see if I can make the screen any bigger.
Oh, do you want your screen bigger?
Oh, here we go. Actually, there we go. It's
Maybe.
good now. Oh, whoa. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. No, it's just like
Oh,
it
wait.
was like just the screen where you two are. Like it was like for a while, it was like in the corner of the thing. So, but now
you want it to be bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
We
So,
sort of
like,
have abilities.
That's awesome. You just had your dog.
Oh, thank you.
When I was downstairs, I was just looking for one of our dogs to see if he was around, but he must be out and about. We have a bunch of animals here. It's awesome.
We always love it when pets debut. I was gonna snag Kitten Face when he rolled through, but I'm sure
Awesome.
the animals.
I was
will
about
roll
to say that I might introduce you guys to my cat Alistair.
We love cats. Yes.
Yeah, I got him out from a shed next door. He was born, and I got him and this other litter out, like with this hand grabber thingy. They were all like under there. Our cat Lucy had a litter of babies, and she was keeping them like in this little underneath this shed next door. And I took a car jack and I like pumped it up and with like really, really gently got him out and everything. And we gave a couple of them to some close friends and stuff, but kept one of them.
Oh, cool.
His name's Alistair. He's around here somewhere. He's awesome. Really chill. Yeah.
They seem to find their way onto camera somehow throughout the show. The fur babies do. So.
Right. Yeah.
I might have a cat show up too. I have 2 cats, but only one likes the camera, so she might.
Oh yeah.
I have a cat, and then my roommate has a cat and a dog, and every one of them has made an appearance on here. Oh,
Nice.
Oh, come here, Adder. Come here, Pat.
Oh,
Adder.
yay.
This is Adder. This is the roommate.
Yeah,
Oh, look
our
at that
cats
face.
are.
No,
they're
I just
indoor
love
outdoor,
it.
and they're
They're-
always. It's like sometimes they'll just bail out for like a day or two, and then like we won't see them, and then they'll just come back when they're hungry or something. It's like, gosh.
Oh, Adder will sit there and meow at my door to wake me up in the morning, so that to get me out of bed, that he can come and sleep on my bed because I don't know, he just likes it there, I guess.
Yeah, all of them like it there. Buddy would love to just be on the bed all the time, but he's too big.
Yeah,
Everyone's doing fine, but
yeah, Alistair. Yeah, he'll sometimes like to get on the end of the bed, but it's like he's so fickle about everything. It's like he'll get on the end of the bed, and then he'll want to like come cuddle, and then he'll expect me to get up and like go downstairs and open the door to let him out, and then open the door when he wants back in. It's like, dude, I'm trying to sleep. Do you want in or out? Anyway, sorry.
no, it's fine.
Rant about cats.
So
What bass did you use?
in Kerplunk. So I played bass in a band called Kerplunk. He said I thought that one was a blue one.
Oh,
So I did play a blue bass in Kerplunk for a while before I got the red one. But that was Travis Hunstead's bass, and it was also an Ibanez.
oh, sweet.
But this was my red one is just the updated version of it. It's lighter, and I don't know. It's just a really nice bass. I really like how the action is set up. Like I don't have to adjust anything on it. It's perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what happened. Actually, that's the first time ever it happened. Actually, with this Fender that I got, and I got it in the mail too, which was like, so it's like anytime that happens, it's like you gotta. It's like I usually will just immediately send it to a music store to be completely reset. But this case, I took it out of the box, and it was just like I was like, damn.
Well, my bandmate Joseph Kelly, he's trying to build a bass from scratch, like do all the wood and everything, like electronics, like everything, trying to do everything from scratch. So I'm really supportive. I can't wait to see the outcome of that.
Mm-hmm.
But he also can set stuff up really, really nicely.
Nice.
And if my bass was not perfect like it is, I would definitely ask him to like set it up for me, because I've played his basses, because we have band practice at his house.
Yeah.
So it's nice to kind of just like I'm not nearly as good as he is, but I'm a different kind of bass player. He's more of a noodler.
Speaking of style, Brian, what genre do you consider your music?
Well, yeah. Sorry if you guys heard that. My phone just beeped. So like with the for like 10 years, I've been making like my own stuff, and it's definitely like I guess experimental is what I would call it. I mean, recently it's been kind of actually a lot more like instrumental, like electronic kind of music, kind of like, I don't know.
Ooh, nice.
I like to think of it like the Gorillaz, Depeche Mode, and like Prodigy. All had like an instrumental baby. Like that would be maybe like maybe somewhat towards it. But then I also am really like, I really like to do like really really like long scorey kind of like types of stuff, So anyways, yeah, like instrumental, like experimental, like instrumental, and like with like the stuff I've been playing bass though has been solely pretty much like punk and metal and like post punk, hard post, like metalcore kind of band. I was so yeah. I would definitely, I guess, put it in the genre of experimental, I think.
So you write your own music?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Cool.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is really awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, it's really yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I could begin to start about like with like a songwriting process or whatever, because it's like I don't even know.
One of our questions too is like, does somebody come up with a riff, or do you come up with a song idea? Or well, obviously for you, because you're a bass player, like, but bass players can come up with riffs and melodies too, just as well. I wrote the songs that I wrote on a bass. Like, I don't know how to play guitar.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think that I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because of like music I like to play or whatever. Definitely is rhythmic, and so I have no problem kind of only kind of writing from like the bass perspective, or like a bass treble, or bass clef, not bass treble. And it's kind of mostly it starts definitely with like kind of the drums, like I don't know, for fun I'll like put together like these, like people call them like drum compositions, where it's like it's pretty much like a pretty much like a composition on a song, or sorry, on a song on the drums.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like totally distant. But like so yeah, it's like I'll like for fun, I like to like come up with kind of like sequence patterns of different drum patterns and beats and stuff like that. And I'll like kind of mess around with that for a little bit, maybe, and come up with a bass line for it. And then I like to do a lot of layering of like sounds and stuff like that. And a lot of like field, like I like to layer like a lot of some type of like field recording,
Oh yeah.
over,
Yes.
and yeah, like it's definitely starts with like, I guess like, yeah, with the drums. I mean for me with is like for when I'm like just composing like by myself, I think it definitely like is rooted in the in the drums and the rhythm. And but when I was like a bass player in a band, you gotta, I don't know, like being a bass player, especially like in a rock, band, like, you kind of have to know like how to be the bass player, and I suppose like the one band I guess that had the most success as far as like writing songs, it was very, very, very much so like kind of like the singer and guitarist, rhythm guitarist, and the drummer, like that were kind of like the main guys. At the time I was in like my earlier 20s and they were kind of in their older 20s, and it was definitely kind of like a like play this and play that during this. And I mean, actually, and I kind of actually resented them for a little while, because before I started playing with them, I was like solely like all about just playing with my finger, like playing bass with the fingers. I was like, no, like bass players only play with their fingers, like blah blah blah. And they were like, no, man, like you should play with a pick, and I finally did start playing with a pick, and eventually did come to like learn the benefits of using a pick, like as far as tone stuff. But
I like the tone of the fingers because it's just a little softer and it makes it just a tad bit warmer, especially when you want to emphasize softer parts.
Yeah.
But I love how a pick, I can go a lot faster.
Oh yeah. Especially in like heavier, louder music. I mean, that aggressive like grind kind of noise, with when you use a pick, you can't really, it doesn't really seem like you can imitate that, with your fingers, and I can do things faster too, like with a pick. I now have a pick thing on my key, like a cabiner thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's super sweet.
Yeah.
Where did you get that?
I got it at I think the label wore off, but I got it at Old Town Music in Portland.
Nice.
I think I might be. Oh no, I'm not. It's a different shirt. Sorry, I have the hiccups. I know I keep like putting my head down like this. It's because I keep hiccuping. So,
you're fine.
But, yeah, that was like pretty much the place that I went for everything in Portland for stuff. So for anyone that's watching or whatever, like check out. You should definitely go to Old Town Music in Portland.
Yeah, definitely check them out.
I've been there a few times, and it's definitely a very cool place.
Yeah, they are. They're really cool. They're now in Southeast across the river.
Right.
That probably sounds completely abstract to people that don't live in Portland, but like across from downtown. They moved, but yeah, it's a great place, great people. That's where I got it. Oh yeah, sorry. I forgot for a second where I was like, wait, what am I answering again?
No, it's okay. I had a fun fact about hiccups. I know how to cure them.
Oh,
okay. What is your? Because I know how to cure them too. So I want to see like what your way is versus my way.
Okay.
I want to hear this.
You eat a pickle.
Really? Oh, really?
Yes.
I think we might have some pickles.
Do
actually.
it. They'll go away. I promise.
Okay.
If her way doesn't work, we'll try my way next.
My way.
Let's see.
Which is because, hiccups are a spasm of the diaphragm.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's
the
weird
best way
because
to do
I'm
that
not
is
sitting
to
here like I have
evenly,
hiccups, but
make it, expand and contract in an even way to kind of make it stop spasming.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I wonder if that would work for when you have twitches in your eyes, if you just blink in a rhythmic way. I'm gonna try that next time.
Yeah, that's a really good
It's
idea.
weird. It's like I don't know. They seem to only happen when I go into some rant about something.
Oops.
It happens.
It does. It does.
No worries.
But yeah, I guess I guess experimental would be the genre of music I would call myself. Well, my hair is crazy.
I love that. Hey, your sound got really weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. It just
We can hear you, but is your finger covering a hole?
Oh, maybe.
quiet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Well, we can still hear you. It just sounds weird. Maybe did you turn something down?
I walked through my house for a second, and actually that's happened before, when I've been on a video call. So I'll make sure not to do that again. Can you hear me? Can you hear me better?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah.
It just sounds a little on the muffled side,
Yeah,
maybe a
sounds
little bit.
quiet.
But we can definitely hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, yeah, sorry. I went to go look for you guys had suggested pickles for hiccups. And so I went to go look for a pickle.
Did you find a pickle?
No, I wasn't able to.
Oh, dang it.
I have pickles in my house. I could have offered you one, but that would not help you.
What was the other method that didn't they? Was
Yeah,
there
what's
two?
So all I do is you just breathe in and out. But it has to be in time, in 1, 2, 3, out 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, out 2, 3. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. No. Cool.
In,
That's
2,
awesome.
3.
Yeah, because I actually it'll happen. That happens a lot when I'm just interacting with other people, and it'll be kind of embarrassing because it's I'll be talking and I'll be constantly going I'll be people will be people probably are like, what the hell is wrong with you? So,
We totally get it.
No, I'm sure they know it's a hiccup. We're only human.
Right.
We do that stuff too. So,
yeah.
We all have hiccups.
yep. And we all have our ways of trying to get rid of them. Mine works. Seriously, I'm
definitely going to try your way. Next time I have hiccups. Because not only am I going to see if it works, but I love pickles.
My husband hates pickles, but he tried because he couldn't get rid of his hiccups. And I was like, eat a pickle, and he wouldn't. And then finally he ate a pickle and they went away, and he was like, okay. So now when he gets the hiccups, he just eats a pickle. Me too.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Does it work with pickle juice though? Can you drink pickle juice?
I think that's what it's
the brine, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's
that's got to be what it is. Yeah. That's sweet. That's cool.
Joseph
really cool.
Kelly,
I have
my bandmate Joseph Kelly, he has these things that he calls quickles.
Oh.
And what a quickle is he takes the brine from past pickles, how you're always going to have the brine left over.
Yeah.
And he will cut cucumbers and maybe pepper, bell pepper or something, and stick it in there and add a little bit of maybe extra virgin olive oil and some spices and let it sit for a while. They are so good. They are amazing. So
yeah.
I am growing some cucumbers this year in my garden, so I'm saving as much pickle juice as I can.
Well, I think that would work. The pickle juice itself. I think anything fermented could actually work to calm your hiccups.
Oh, crazy!
Diaphragm.
Well, thank you, thanks, guys. It's I appreciate that.
Hey, somebody said hello to you way here in the show.
He said hello to me?
Yeah. Our friend
whoa.
Corey said hi to you, way up here. Let me bring it up.
Way. Yes.
Oh, cool.
Brian.
Hey, What's up?
So yeah, I wanted to point
Corey
that.
Wold. Corey Wold was the singer for Sir and Karma's Playbook and Kerplunk, my band Kerplunk.
Sweet.
Hopefully to be doing an awesome project soon. Hopefully we
Awesome.
can resurrect Kerplunk because that's a fun band. I'm not gonna. It's
Yeah.
a Green Day tribute band, but we have
Okay,
lot of
that makes
fun.
complete sense.
And
That's
I
awesome.
actually
Yeah.
play bass for that band. So like I don't play drums for it, I play bass. And it's just fun.
Absolutely, yeah, that sounds fun. I have always actually wanted to be in some type of tribute band for like a band that I was really into. I bet because that's just got to be absolutely nothing but fun.
It would be fun.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that Green Day the songs we played were more kind of like B-side songs, stuff you wouldn't hear on the radio.
Awesome. Yeah.
Which were even better
really
because I'm
good.
just like, man, why don't they play this one? Oh, because it's too rad for, or it drops the F-bomb or something super stupid.
Really,
Yeah.
they couldn't like bleep that out or anything?
Like you would think so, but I don't know. Maybe it just didn't gain like the popularity contest or something.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian, I was going to ask you, how many songs do you have written?
Oh man. Well, there's a lot. I mean, because I've been doing a lot of things like pretty much digitally for a lot I mean, at least all this year, just this year alone. I mean, it's like every day I'm busting out like not every day, but like almost every day, busting out at least a couple like demo ideas. It's kind of one thing I'm working on right now because so I have hundreds and hundreds of tracks like that I've recorded. I mean, I it's kind of stressful because when there comes time to try maybe like release a collection of stuff, it's hard to pick like which tracks, and like and also kind of like picking like what like kind of like what kind of feel I'm like I would want to have or whatever. But there are, as far as like officially released songs, I have 3 like EPs that I released. I released one in like 2012 of some stuff that I had recorded when I had this little like 8-track like little studio thing in my apartment at the time. But hundreds of songs.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
I mean, not all of them are good. I mean, like some of them are probably. I mean, like I get it. But I mean,
take, like,
since everything has been
so good and mesh it into like other parts of songs that are good and make a whole new song. That's awesome.
I was talking to my friend who was in this band called Hotboxed, and the other day he actually sent me some footage from a show that I played in Portland when I was like 19 years old with I was in this metal band. Like my brother and I eventually started this metal band when we were teenagers and everything, and we called ourselves Relent for No One. Are you guys there?
Ooh, Relent for No One? That sounds really cool.
Yes, we're here.
It's kind of like you guys, like, the screen froze.
Oh, sometimes that happens. If you ever get disconnected on the show, just click back on the link and we'll bring you back in.
Yep.
Okay. Oh,
so
there you go.
Feel totally lost.
I see. Hey, there you are. So what was I talking about? I'm sorry.
Oh, what was the band name? It was really cool. We're in Lead.
Oh yeah, right. So right, my friend had sent me some footage from when I was like 19 years old playing a show at it was this place that was at first it was called so there was this venue called the Meow Meow in Portland. And then do you guys remember that venue at all?
I have not really been around Portland too much myself.
Oh, okay.
I'm from North Dakota, and I moved to Sequim, and I basically play mostly in Tacoma and Seattle.
Oh, okay. Well, in Portland, God, sorry, the place. What place? Was I saying?
Meow
The
Meow.
venue, the Meow Meow. Yeah, thanks, babe. Sorry. There's this venue called the Meow Meow in Portland, and it was a terrible venue. It was like the venue though that like everyone played at, like all the bands on tour or whatnot. It was like a really popular venue, I guess, for bands to play, but I don't know why, because like the acoustics just sucked, and it got moved over to this place that was like in the industrial kind of part of the city, and it was called the Meow Meow for a while, and then it was called the B Complex, and then it was called something else, and then something else, and it might be not even there anymore, but it was a cool venue for while it was there, and it was really cool to see that. It was kind of pretty nostalgic. I was also pretty proud, like watching it. Also, I was like, "Whoa, like I rocked." That's cool.
Yeah, that is super cool. Oh my god.
But yeah.
So my roommate Josiah has a question for you.
So
Okay.
you're from Portland, right?
Yes.
You know the venue Misdemeanor Meadows?
No. Is it newer?
I don't know. I booked a couple shows there. I was just wondering what the quality of the venue is, if you knew.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy because I know of every venue in Portland, and I've never ever heard of it. It might be new though because I moved from Portland almost a year ago. And it's that's kind of like I kind of want to know where it is because it says Meadows. What's that?
I'll look it up. I had a show booked.
Cool. Yeah. Sorry, I feel kind of lame. Like,
don't feel lame. Like
my phone froze.
But yeah, it was kind of weird, like that. Oh, and something kind of funny happened at the Meow Meow. Thank God it wasn't the footage that my friend had sent me wasn't of that show, but when I was like 16, we played there, and like the stage it sucked, man. Like there was this little indent in the stage, right? And like this was like the first Music Fest Northwest ever. Or like after they had switched it from North by Northwest, switched it from North by Northwest to Music Fest Northwest, and we were playing there, and like we were like so nervous, and just like every possible bad thing like that could possibly happen during a performance, like happened. Like like this little indent in the stage like made our singer, like he was like this big like lerpy like kind of dorky dude, and like he was not graceful at all, and so like he stumbled like right into this little indent in the stage and just completely like bit it, and it was kind of funny. But then my pants fell down. I had to borrow like a belt from someone in the audience, and like I was like rocking out and going crazy, and I jumped up, and like my jack, like the jack in my bass like came out because it was one of those like lock jacks, but yeah, so the Meow Meow, the venue, the Meow Meow. It was a cool place. It was like a pretty like a they call it like a staple or whatever of music, Portland music history.
Wow, that's sweet. You know,
Yeah.
like even though it was kind of a sucky experience, it was still kind of a cool experience too.
Right.
Yeah.
I found the address for that place. It's on 52nd Southeast in Portland.
Oh, okay. It's like 50. Does it say 52nd?
Yeah, it's
That's
6920 Southeast 52nd.
That's wow. That's nuts. I wonder if that might be the new venue that used to be called this place Rock and Roll Pizza. Yeah, that might be the place.
sounds
I remember Rock and Roll Pizza.
Yeah.
This place, it says music venue and restaurant.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Rock and Roll Pizza was yeah, that was a cool place too.
It's
If
a
it's
pub.
that
They serve
place,
alcohol.
yeah. If it's that place, then that's actually a really, really good venue. I played there before, and no qualms.
Yeah.
It's a really cool place. It's pretty small. It's not big or anything.
You know, speaking of venues, where else have you played? What are some of your favorite venues you've gotten to play at?
Well, when I was in Microtia, we went on like three West Coast tours when I was in the band.
Ooh.
But those were all like I don't those were all like just kind of like dives. But I don't know. I guess like I was thinking about that question, and
Dives can be fun, man.
they are absolutely. Those are my favorite. Those are
Yeah,
like my favorite places to play. Absolutely. But
I love the people you meet in places like that. You know, like
yeah. No, those are like I love playing places like that. But probably my favorite place would have been, I don't know, probably like I don't know, the even though the sound there sucked and everything, probably the Paris Theater in Portland.
okay.
Just because that's where, I don't know, it's like where I did a lot of kind of growing up, I guess, like as a musician. And there's like a really weird history with the place, and I don't know, the owners were not good people, fortunately. But like
that sucks. I played the East Side. The East Side was different.
the East Side, yeah, that
Like
might
the
have
eatery is on
what
top,
the
and then you go down the stairs, and that's where the show is. And
yeah.
no
Oh
monitor.
yeah, that little tiny. Was it like a little tiny place?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I
We
remember
couldn't
that.
even run full stacks because if you were on stage, full stacks would hit the ceiling.
Yeah. I totally remember that. I think they called that place the Solid State, I think, for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I guess I mean like I guess I have like the bestest memories like from there. But as far as like sound quality and everything, that definitely not the Paris Theater. But probably the Roseland in Portland is a really awesome both a stage to play on and see shows at. Like their house sound guy is really, really good. That's like one of the only places that I can go see a show and like I'll still feel like the bass in my chest,
Yeah,
like,
you can't go wrong with a good sound guy, man.
yeah, right. And so I mean probably either the Roseland in Portland because that was like one of the, I think the first show that this band that I had formed with my brother Relent for No One we ever played, and it was like this battle of the bands with like 40 bands or something crazy like that, and we somehow, I think we just had gone on or something, like when the judges were like in the room or something, I don't know, but like we somehow ended up like winning it, and we were like able to record an album and release it and all that stuff. And so because of that, I think maybe that's why I would choose that venue.
Cool. Tell us a
So-
little bit about tour. I'm intrigued. Where did you go on your West Coast tour? Where did you hit up?
We would do Seattle, like we would
Nice.
play the Showbox.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
nice.
Yeah.
And then we would do. I mean, so we only played Seattle on one tour. Typically, it was like it was Portland, Eugene, Stockton, and then I think what's after that? Like, is there between there and San Francisco? Is there any other city? Sorry, there might have been.
Sacramento.
Sacramento. Yeah, Sacramento,
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
All
There's
of which, all these
places
places
too.
are like dives that we played at. Like, and
I feel
only
like
remember-
sometimes those dive shows can be like the best shows.
Oh,
Like-
absolutely, and house shows too. Like, I think, yeah.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I
Playing
love.
in bigger venues with more people in the crowd is fun, but you just don't have the one-on-one attention.
It's not
like.
that. It's not that like.
It's not as personal. It's not as
Right.
intimate
Yeah. Personal. Yeah.
as
That's
like
what. Yeah.
a
the word I was
smaller
looking for.
venue. And let's just face it, like more people can afford a smaller venue instead of like $80 for a damn ticket to go see whoever at a bigger venue.
Right. Right.
You know, they're
No,
willing to
absolutely.
pay like $7, $10 to go see.
Yeah.
Maybe they're friends, but there's other bands too that play that night that I always go from the beginning to the end because I never know who might be my new favorite band because there's so many bands out there.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, I go to support my friends or I go to play my own show.
Yeah.
And I might be playing with another band that I'm just like, holy shit.
Mhm.
I want to see more of you.
Yeah.
Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
It's just kind of like that band that you like tap your
and
friends.
you don't really get that
shoulder and point to the
personal
stage
that you're
kind of
playing
thing.
like the bigger stages and stuff. Like
Yeah. No, and there's also been, I mean, there's been countless bands like that, I was like a big fan of and still a big fan of like growing up or whatever, that, they would kind of go through a phase where it was like they would have an album where they were big enough or well known enough to where they were, able to fill like big huge venues, like big venues like arenas or whatever. And then after they would do that, they would be like, we're going back to like, on their next tour, they would be like, no, we're going back to playing, clubs, like smaller clubs. Cause we don't like, we didn't like that experience. We prefer the smaller clubs.
dude, it's a whole nother world playing those bigger stages.
Yeah.
Because the stage crew, like they are on a tight schedule.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
they don't
And-
have your schedule and you're not at your time, your sound check on time. Like
yeah.
it screws everything up and you're just like you just don't want to give your sound crew all antsy and irritated because then they get
Yeah.
I mean-
yeah. No, you don't want them mad at you.
No.
no, because then you're just not gonna sound good and you're not gonna have a good set.
They're the, people like, whoa, sorry, I just hit my phone.
That's okay.
No, it's okay.
That was great.
No,
We'll go
they're-
all sorts of
It was like,
places.
woo. They're the people you don't definitely that keep your show going. And touring with the band that we were touring in a it was 5 of us in a 4-seater van with like, and we were playing, I mean, just alone my bass stack, I was playing I had a 15-inch Ampeg cabinet and then on top of that was a Ampeg 410 speaker cabinet with a Sun it's called the Sun T100 or something. It's like a 6-tube bass amp. It's like
Yeah, I know
heavier than
exactly what you're talking
both
about.
those cabinets together. Like it's like so freaking heavy and like
My first head was a Sun.
oh yes dude, Sun is like one of the best.
Oh, tube head too. It weighed like 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, and that was what mine was like, and so and then that was just mine alone, and so that was like one full stack, and then we had one, and then the two guitar players and our synth guy had all the same thing, and then our drum set, and we didn't have a trailer. We just had this old, like, beat up white van, Vanny, we named it. And it was this van that had been like just passed down from a bunch of other bands or whatever. And yeah, there was 5 of us in this 4-seater, doing these tours like in the middle of the summers, like down in California, no air conditioning. always breaking down when you would be going up highway whatever from San Diego up through so that goes into Nevada, and you go through like
the 210.
Yeah, is that it? Yeah,
I think so. I think it's the 210 or the 10.
Yeah, the van would always break down there, and
the highway that goes through Barstow.
What's that?
The highway that goes through Barstow.
Barstow? Is that like
Barstow, California? I think it's Barstow, California. It could be Nevada. I'm not exactly sure. I've never been to.
I'm not sure. The only place I remember, like on that long, just like drive from San Diego to Vegas, is there was this place on the border called Buffalo Bills that we stayed, like it was like this amusement park / casino / hotel, like out just in the middle of the desert. Like it was really kind of odd but really really surreal. It was kind of cool because like you could smoke like anywhere in the building, and the casino was open 24 hours. Like it was pretty cool, but
sounds cool.
But yeah, like we were, we were definitely roughing it, and playing, like we had a label that had released like a record, but they weren't like supporting us on. They weren't like, I think they put us up in the embassy in like the suburbs of San Francisco, but that was like the only thing they did, and they were like. The guy at the label, I can't remember his name, but he was just like, this is not something, I'm doing, but I have a lot of, faith in you guys, yada, yada, yada. We were just like, we were like, dude, we need to sleep for like 8 hours. Like we need to get like an 8-hour, bit of sleep. Cause we were by then like, yeah. So about tour, in LA, we would play this little tiny place called the Relax Bar, and the place was so small that we could only fit our drummer up there. And
I've been there.
Yeah, I've been on stage like that too, and we're a 2-piece.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, damn. You must have like a bunch of like a bunch of like amps and stuff. That's sick.
Kind of, not really, but I've
sweet.
seen some really tiny little stages. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
No, you're
and if your drums can barely fit on it, I know my drums just won't.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah. Our drummer's set was only like a 4-piece pretty much with like it was very, 4-piece with like a ride, crash, hi-hat, and I think maybe he had another crash, but maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, it was really small, and so
condensed for the road. I get it.
What's that?
I said condense it down for the road. That's what I do now. I've got Bertha.
Right. Oh no, for sure.
My travel set mini. So.
Yeah. No. Totally. Yeah. Actually, that's actually really smart. Like something I've been noticing is like you'll hear these records and bands that are just like they'll be like a really heavy band or something, and it's like they'll just be like explosive, and then you'll go and see them live, and it's like the drummer has it's like, yeah, I don't know, just because of their sound, you'd expect their drummer to have this like monster set, you know? But
Yeah.
he's playing on this like small, like the really small set, like with like a
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no, he'll come back.
He will come back.
Brian, just click on the link. You want to message him and tell him just click on the link?
Can, yes.
Cool. While we wait for our guest, I wanted to mention that we are having an anniversary show. Oh, there he is. He's back.
What's up? Sorry.
Hi,
No, you're fine. We were waiting for you to come back.
Exactly. You did great.
Thank you.
Maxine was just about to do an announcement. So
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll do a quick
Tell me to shut up. Tell me to shut up when.
No, you're fine.
All right. So our announcement is that we have an anniversary coming up. So we're celebrating our year on Musicians Hangout on May 15th. So that's a Friday. And special news, everybody. So Crash and I are going to do a feed of both of our bands. So you will get to hear the Maxwells and Fatal Butterfly for our anniversary show. So we will be live streaming Friday, the 15th.
Awesome.
I'll put out
And
the
with
details.
that said, right, and
That's
with that said, I want to give a quick shout out because we are going to be streaming it live. We needed to buy some equipment. So my band Fatal Butterfly bought the Mackie Pro FX 16 V3. So it has 16 channels. It's amazing. We got it today. And we want to definitely thank Patrick Ortiz from Sweetwater for getting it out and onto us or to us, you know, before we had
Sweetwater
to,
music.
like, get it out. So yes, we definitely want to put a big shout out to those guys. So thank you, Sweetwater and Patrick. And apparently
He'll be back. But I just wanted to say we love Sweetwater. In fact, the Maxwells, we buy almost all of our equipment from Sweetwater. So huge shout out to Sweetwater.
yes,
Mwah.
Yeah, they're awesome.
most definitely.
I've gotten a lot of stuff from them.
Yeah. Yeah, they got some really good deals. They got good sales going on. Cyber Monday, oh my. Like, check out Sweetwater in November when they do the Cyber Monday. It is insane.
Oh, awesome. I will.
I got this guitar, this Paul Reed Smith, right behind me. Oop, backwards, Lynn. So that one right there.
Oh, awesome. Oh,
Yes.
that's so cool.
I got that. It was a $2,000 guitar, and I got it for $550 on Cyber Monday.
Oh, sweet.
And it was,
Oh my God.
probably 9 or 10 years ago, but still, like, really good sales. Like,
That's a really, really good price for a PRS.
Yeah, I got I got something else recently from them. I get
Didn't
my
you get Mini from there?
what was that?
Didn't you get Mini from Sweetwater?
I got Mini. I tried to get Mini off Sweetwater, but they sold out, so I had to get Mini off of Amazon.
Oh,
So I
shit. I did not even know that.
I tried through Sweetwater, and then they ran out of stock. And then, but there was something we got on Cyber Monday from Sweetwater, and I can't remember it. So
Jeffrey Worrell, he said that he just ordered a rock load of gear last month that came early.
heck
So
yeah, that's the Sweetwater.
oh yeah. And we needed our board, before this Friday because we want to make sure that we have everything set up for
Oh, so you guys are practicing
our anniversary.
for next Friday.
Yes, for next Friday.
Sweet.
So,
You guys are doing like a set each or something? Or?
yes.
Yeah, so we'll stream through StreamYard just like this, and we will play from our band room, like
Oh, cool.
from our jam spots.
Awesome. That's kind of now like, I'm sorry, I'm not interrupting, am I?
No, you're
No.
going.
Is that kind of becoming kind of like the thing like to do now because of like because of the Corona thing?
Yeah, it really
Yep.
is. In fact, we have a Corona concert series that we just wrapped up 6 weeks with, and we are going monthly with that. We announced that last show that we were going monthly instead of weekly. We did full 6 weeks every Friday of a Corona concert series featuring artists from all over the world.
Oh wow, cool.
It was
Okay.
pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And we've learned a lot about streaming ourselves. But our bands have played on the series.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for a special treat for our fans and to celebrate our anniversary with each other on the show.
Yeah, that's rad. That's so cool.
We heard a lot of feedback from people. They were sad that we weren't going every Friday now, but we needed a break.
Mm-hmm.
Our whole team, we have a team of people. Brandon Welch from Toast, he did a lot of promotion. He did flyers and he did reminder schedules with bands.
And he also got like band fillers when we had some bands that would just drop out because they couldn't get together or what have you. So he would work diligently to fill those spots for us. And we can't thank him enough. Late Night Shiner, I know you guys.
Well, yeah, I've heard of them too.
Yes.
I've never heard of
We actually promote them. Well, we were promoting them all the time.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, cool. I'll check them out.
Oh, see, and they even said, thanks for promoting. Of course. We love you guys. Yes.
So yeah, we did this series. We also had another person involved, Justin Sable from
Sable.
Oh, Sable. Sorry, I always say his last name wrong.
I know.
So he did commercials for our series, like knockoff little like parody commercials for the COVID series.
Yeah.
It was really cool. He's from the band Those Guys. So we all kind of needed a couple weeks off, if that makes sense, like have a couple Fridays off.
Oh, it totally makes sense. Yeah.
We got a lot to do. This podcast on Wednesdays and then the festivals on Friday. So yeah, we're taking, this Friday off. We're coming back with our anniversary, and then June 12th, we'll start up our monthly Corona concert series, because who knows how long we're going to be in a quarantine.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like as far as like just out in the world, like like bands on tour or whatever, it's like I don't know, catch me up, but like, do you guys know like what is going on with that? I might be asking like super late, like as if I should know.
As far as I know, everything has been shut down. All
Really?
the bands and there is going to be nothing until 2021, from what I understand.
And like bands aren't even doing like, I guess virtual performances or whatever.
Well, that's the only way that they are performing is virtually.
Right.
But like,
okay.
There's no going to venues.
Right.
No
and so are they just like filmed like playing on the stage at the venue or something?
Some are. Some
are. Yeah, they're streaming live performances to no one. I mean, it's just like your band on a stage. You get a sound guy and you get a camera guy.
Yeah, which must be super weird.
Yeah, and you have to have a stage big enough so that everybody's 6 feet apart, of course.
Yeah. Oh God. Wow. Oh my gosh. Right. Oh my goodness.
Band Hellcat is going to be
Wait, no, we're not live streaming. We're just using the venue as a practice.
That's not what I was going to say. The band Hellcat is going to be practicing at Tony V's and Everett on Sunday. They're not going to be streaming live or anything, but it's a good place for them to practice where there's enough space. Because where they usually because where they usually practice, it is too close quarters that like you're literally like standing in people's faces and you're just like,
how the fuck we fit in that little room?
Yeah, so it's nice that some venues are allowing bands to practice there so that we can social distance from each other, but we still get to practice, because for about 5 to 6 weeks for most musicians, they couldn't get together.
Yeah.
We were all quarantined and we were all trying to be really careful. I mean,
of course.
Like I said earlier, my husband and I are duets, so we're the band, so we continue going like normal. Yeah. But we're not playing live, which we really, really miss. We would go over to the city. Like I said, we had festivals lined up. We have some private gigs that are private parties that are lined up for the summer that we still might be able to do, depending on social distancing, depending on how phase 2 and phase 3 goes with this reopening of public places.
Yeah. That's gonna be like, I mean, it's crazy because it's like I'm starting to, or observe that the whole kind of Corona like thing, I guess not routine, but just kind of how it changed everything, and like how everything is now. Like it's like I'm starting to think about what it's gonna be like when things get back to normal. Like it's gonna be like people it's like the normal might not feel normal.
Right.
It's
It's never going to be normal again. Like we knew normal, there's going to be a new normal.
Yeah.
And we'll adapt, like musicians and artists, we will figure out how to adapt to this. We already have. We've gone virtual, but just think of how excited people are going to be to come in person to see you when we are able to do that. I mean, it's going to be
yeah. Totally. Yeah. Like that's totally like what I'm talking. Yeah. Like what I'm saying. Like that's just, it's going to be so like surreal or whatever. So like strange and like, and awesome too. Yeah. To be able to do that. Like, yeah. Like once it's all back to normal or whatever. But yeah, like, it's like, it's kind of, how can it feel normal too? Yeah.
Well, and I know that a lot of artists have also hit creative blocks during this time because it's not exactly an inspirational time. It's a crisis. So that's not inspiring to everybody. Some people are, moved to write songs about what's going on right now and to process it that way. Others don't want to write about that or don't feel it yet.
No, yeah, and
we've switched some of our songs to incorporate the coronavirus. Like it used to be H1N1 back in the day, but now we've kind of rewritten it to be about coronavirus. So
yeah, this has been way crazy.
It's impacted us not only financially, but like mentally, physically, emotionally.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It hasn't just affected just us, Washington State, but like everyone on this planet.
That's the world.
Like other countries have suffered from it too. So
right. Yeah, I mean, like, like with the whole playing, like, musicians and artists and stuff like during this time. Yeah, it's kind of like, you're now given all this, kind of time that, I guess, the first thing you think is like, oh, well, I could work on, whatever, like creative,
I could write
creative projects, but then it's like, wait a second, like, it's almost like, it wasn't really, it's kind of like, it's not a type of thing where it's like, you feel like, inspired and then go to do it.
But
it's like
weeks, I was not motivated for anything. I had no motivation, none for anything, not just music, but like anything. I just wanted to sleep. I just wanted to like hibernate from the world and hope that it opened sooner than later, and it didn't. And I pulled myself out of that, and I poured myself into some art because I draw and I paint, so I was able to do that. But it took me a while to get there. And like I said, we've been working on our album and we weren't feeling it. And we finished up some things with the album, but we were supposed to be done with it. And we just kind of left it for a little bit. We were just in that shock and we needed to heal. It was like we were going through all of this grief with what was going on around us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just sounded like when we were first hearing about it, it was just like, oh, yeah, okay, well, whatever. That's not going to affect me or my life.
Yeah, right.
How many times have we like heard all of this stuff and it still hasn't ever affected our life? Like I didn't get H1N1. I didn't get the swine flu. I didn't catch mad cow or West Niles or Ebola or, anthrax or none of that. Like I didn't get any of it.
Right.
But
Same.
Like this is pretty serious. Like, it's literally here, like in our town.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of scares, and it's like, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, do you guys, sorry, ladies, live in, are you, the towns you live in like bigger or smaller?
So mine's pretty small, and we are not as affected by COVID-19 as a lot of other places that surround us because our city was really smart. When the city started shutting down, we did too.
Mm-hmm.
So there's even towns,
My,
County.
20.
my city is kind of small-ish, but and like everything shut down. Like the school shut down and everything as soon as
Snohomish County Sheriff wasn't good.
Yeah. 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 My fiance, she's a bus driver for the school district here, and
Yeah.
she
I
she
respect
delivers.
that, man. Go bus
What's
driver.
that?
Woo.
yes.
Here's to
And-
her. That's a hard job.
Yeah, she comes home like sore every day. It's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, I bet she does.
But yeah, it's really awesome. She like delivers food to like kids and teachers and stuff like that. It's really
Oh.
cool.
That is cool.
But yeah, with all the schools being closed down and everything, and with just everything being changed, it's it's like it's like a feeling kind of oh wow, well I could create right now, or I can focus on like on my creative projects, but at the same time it's kind of like it's like it's just kind of it's a type of thing we've never really
It's hard
experienced.
to be excited and inspired to write about something so horrible that
Yeah.
is literally taking so many people's lives and like ruining. And like, it's not just those who have gotten the virus and have either recovered or not recovered.
Yeah.
But it's their families, it's us too, because now, like, we are all stuck at home with each other.
Yeah, and how
Right,
odd
yeah.
is that? Like we never envisioned something like this happening in our history. Like we knew that there was stuff going on with, like climate change. We knew that there was stuff going on in politics. The regular stuff. Yeah. 9/11 shook us as a country. I mean, we're all, around the age that we were around during 9/11, and we remember.
Yeah.
But who would have thought that, less than 20 years later, we would be quarantined because of some pandemic? Like, I never envisioned something like that. I envisioned other things like natural disasters. This is a natural disaster, I get that, but something more physical, more that you see, or war, invasion, or something like that, not this. Like,
Yeah,
this
I mean, it was kind of like one of
Yeah,
my
now we have these
biggest
killer
fears,
wasps that are coming to kill us.
the wasp. Good God, I know.
Holy crap. Corona's not enough. Let's
Let's get some murder wasps.
Killer wasps.
God.
Like, I'm just like, oh, come on. This is like the killer bees, the Africanized bees. Remember those? Like,
yeah.
I had myself all worked up about anytime I saw a bee swarm or anything.
Yeah, right?
Like, I was like, oh my God, Africanized bees. No, it wasn't. It was just regular bees just trying to like make some honey and pollinate some stuff.
Yeah.
But the media had hyped me up so much.
That's what I thought this was at first. Media.
Yes, right.
What?
That's the other thing,
They have like cried wolf so much that it's really hard to distinguish what is truth and like what I need to worry about now, as opposed to, oh, that's a bummer. Maybe I should keep my eye out just in case I see like these killer wasps or whatever.
Right. No, for sure.
I get that. Yeah, I can get so hung up on that stuff, but then I try to remind myself because I really enjoy learning about history. And
me too, yeah.
Specifically American history, and it has shown that we have gotten through a lot of things. We are resilient, we're strong, not just Americans, everybody, every human, we are, we're strong enough to get through this, and we will. It's just like, I'm impatient and I want it to happen now.
Yeah, right. No, for sure. And I mean that's it's funny you say that too, because it's like that's very much so the American kind of like culture, whatever mindset. It's like we want what we want now, and
Yeah.
like it's kind of crazy because it's like I think that like just even if someone's not like a writer or whatever, I think or like in some way to definitely make sure to document just like not even in like in like it doesn't even have to be like necessarily just in like a journalistic way or whatever, just to somehow document this time,
Yeah.
because
We'll
it's
never forget it. We will never forget this.
right.
This is, history in the making. This is going to be affecting our futures for the rest of our lives.
Absolutely.
We'll always refer to this.
Yeah, and I don't think that it's a little it's a little concerning because it's like I think maybe now people are finally starting to realize like that we're not gonna be able to there's not going to be enough resources, I don't think, or enough money, to continue like this, and like the effect that it's going to take on the economy, just in every way. Yeah. In every way, like in ways that it's like, I feel like, people and myself included it's like, I'm always like, it's like always another, it's like, oh my God, this is going to affect like that, too. Like, like that's whatever that is, maybe like it's crazy, man.
It is
Super crazy.
Brian, we're coming up on about a half hour left of the show, and we like to ask guests about what sort of advice you would give to other musicians or to kids that are just starting out in music.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like that. This was the one I was like thinking about the hardest. So I don't want to like sound like I don't want to sound cliche or like whatever. I want to like of course say something that's like someone would really like hear or whatever. But
I mean, just throughout your experiences with music, like
I guess
like don't do this. I've done that, and there's an easier way. Like do it this way. Any sort of
definitely, I don't know. I mean, I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy, but like by saying this, but I feel like that when someone like with music or anything like that, it's like if they feel that almost like purpose to do it, or like whatever, like they have to not like no matter what, don't ignore that, because you will find that you will regret it if you like if you kind of only do things to like a lot of parents will of course be like with their kids with music, like as far as like making money, they're in, which is and they're right doing it, but I mean it's like because it's true, but like I don't know, just like I guess my advice would be to go just to really try not to shut that like that that passion and drive and stuff, like try not to numb that out. I think a lot of people do that because it's like you gotta like conform to society's rules and whatnot, and you don't really have a choice to, and which sucks. But if but for and other people are very lucky to have like supportive parents and whatnot. I'm just I guess just for the don't listen to the naysayers, and it's like it's like you have a calling to create beauty. I mean, like what's more noble than that,
Agreed.
That's awesome. I like how you said that. Create beauty.
Yeah, to create beauty, it was more noble.
Yeah.
That's
a beautiful way.
I guess and then just I mean it's like It's not about yeah, I mean, it just don't make it about making money or whatever. Like, always try to make sure that you're just you're
If you're
doing
in
it
music to
be
make
happy.
money, you are going to be very disappointed.
Yes, you will. You'll be very, very
Very
disappointed.
disappointed. This is not a money making.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like the
At all.
only way that you're gonna be able to make money is by well, gosh,
Not-
with this Corona thing now, it's not even that now, but touring, and it's kind of like I guess some advice I've also said is it's like prepare to don't really like make any kind of make sure that you can leave and you're not going to be that you're committed to it and understand that you're going to have to travel to make money,
Yeah, that's
and
yeah.
all that other stuff, like don't ever quit, and do your best and follow your dreams and that good stuff.
Well, and do you feel that you did that? Do you feel like you
Yeah,
followed your dream?
I feel like I do. I
Cool.
did. I feel like I did, definitely. And yeah, and I wasn't. Yeah, my dad wasn't very supportive of it, and it was like it was pretty rough, like
That would be hard.
to be put in the position of having to be like having to make kind of a decision between doing something you love and have a passion for, and then like having a relationship with your dad or whatever. Like,
that would be really rough.
it's pretty rough, and but I definitely I still like I felt kind of just, I don't know, I've always felt that, just like that it sounds so cheesy, but like calling or whatever.
Yeah, like that fire, that passion to just yeah.
And it's like, whenever I get so, like, of course, there's times of discouragement and times when it's like you won't even, it's like you won't even want to do it maybe, but like that's okay. And like, every time I've ever gone through a period like that, to where I've gotten to the point of almost believing that I should just give up or not do it anymore, something always happens, like, to kind of, I don't know, bring, like, to kind of re-spark that little, like, that kind of, like, that feeling of doing the right, you're following,
you're on the right path,
pursuing your happiness.
Yeah.
This is where I was supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've all felt like that too. We've come to that crossroad. I left it for a little bit. I hung up the music for about 4 months, and then because it just wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then a friend, well, he wasn't a friend then, he was a fan, found us on Reverb Nation and connected with us and invited us out for coffee. And he had some connections in Seattle, and he said, you guys are great. I love your music. I love every music video. I'm a huge fan of yours. I want to take you guys to the city with me and play some shows.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we picked it back up again, and I'm so glad we did, because like, I met Crash, and I've met, so many really cool people through this industry, and like, I've played some really cool historical places, that might not open again. So I feel very blessed that I got in when I did, because I gave it up, and there was something that brought me back. Totally.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. And actually, that brings me back, sorry, to the venue thing, the Satyricon in Portland. That's my favorite venue, because like I got to go there, and like that's a very rich, like, history, music, especially, that's like where Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love met and stuff, like.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot that I got the opportunity to play there before they closed. Yeah.
It sounds like you've played a lot of venues.
Yeah, I mean, like, since I was like a teenager, fortunately, like, was able to do that, and so yeah, yeah, I have played a lot of venues. Yeah, there's a lot of places that I would still like.
Uh-oh.
That was going to be my next question. I was going to ask where he wanted to play. So when he comes back, he'll be back.
Oh, yes.
We'll be back too, guys.
Here he is. Here he is.
Hey, Brian. Hi.
Gotcha.
Sorry about that.
Oh, Brian.
Anyways, but yeah, sorry.
Oh, no. It's
I
all
should probably shut up.
We knew you
No,
were going to be
I
back.
was about to ask you what venue you want to play and you haven't been able to play.
Yes.
Can it be like anywhere in the world?
Anywhere in the world. Anywhere.
Anywhere in the world.
Your dream venue.
What's that place? In like, oh gosh, it's like some band like the Foo Fighters or something. It's like you'd have to be like a big enough band like that to be able to play it. But like, it's like this big it's like an amphitheater, an ancient amphitheater, like in.
Oh.
I want to say like in Greece or like.
Oh wow! Like
Somewhere. I think I don't know. That'd be cool to play. Geez.
Ooh.
Wherever. I guess I don't know. Like I guess like I've always wanted to play the Gorge.
Me too, man. I would love to.
I mean, that's a beautiful place. So.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially coming from the Northwest or whatever, I think, yeah, I would absolutely, I'd have to say the Gorge, yeah.
Actually, a lot of people from the Pacific Northwest have stated that they would want to play the Gorge. So
yeah, it's so pretty there. Yeah,
it is really pretty. I
would definitely love to play the Gorge at one point in my life.
Yeah, I got to see Foo Fighters there. In fact,
so Kelly Ray,
cool.
Yeah,
Kelly Ray is so awesome. He is in the band Joker's Wild. He said that we are all glad that both of you were brought together, and that he doesn't believe in coincidence. Big hearts, Kelly.
Awesome. Yeah, this has been something. Like we started a year ago, and I can't believe where we're at now. So thanks, everybody. Thanks to our fans. You're the reason why we keep going, and to our guests. Thanks to our guests too. We really appreciate you.
Oh, yeah, thank you for having me. That time went by so fast. That was awesome.
Oh, we still have a few minutes left.
Oh yeah, yeah. I am so glad
that like to say thank you.
To reschedule you too. You were supposed to be on the show last week. It didn't work out.
Yeah. I'm so sorry for canceling. That was like, oh God.
Fine. Our awesome friends, fans, viewers, they kept all of this going, like band for Crash, like yeah, we had
I was kind of afraid to watch it first because I was just like, oh my God, like
no, don't we have backup plans. So we have sock puppets, and we had flowers in our hair. So I have flowers in my hair again tonight. But
I do too again.
We were joking around about how we both had flowers on, and we were like, ooh, guests have to come on the show with flowers if they call in, because we did a call-in episode. We're like, if you want to be on the show, PM us the link. So we had people, like say, hey, I'll come in. So like first guest, he had a flower lay.
Oh, that's so rad.
And then the next guy, he had
my bass player.
He had a real flower in his hair. He showed us.
Oh my gosh.
We have fake flowers. And then the last guy, Justin, he had a bag of flour on his head.
Oh my God.
In a bag costume.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah, they were awesome. They were amazing. So we're actually going to give them. We're going to make them sock puppets for coming onto the show and being such good sports, for filling in and for wearing flowers.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Yes, that will be rad.
So leave it to our friends and our fans to save the day. So it worked out.
Awesome.
And that's usually kind of how we go about it. We're, like we said before, we're free flow. We hang out. Like it's just kind of like that when a guest has to cancel, like abruptly, we have a
Yeah.
backup plan so that we can keep it going,
Yeah.
and you don't
Like-
have to feel bad about it because we have a
No.
backup
We
plan.
understand.
Okay, good.
We totally understand that. You know what? Emergencies happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I mean, we are
I'm
more
glad
than
you're
like,
okay.
reschedule.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's actually a good idea. Like, I would think to have like with doing a show to actually, to have like, okay, if this person bails at the last second, like, what are we gonna do?
But
Yeah.
sometimes people, because we are booked out so far in advance, sometimes people forget, and then they
Yeah.
make plans. Well,
Right.
now they can't really make many plans because you're on lockdown, bitches.
Yeah, this is
Yeah. Right.
you
Yeah, it's
definitely know that.
You don't really have any excuses yet.
Yeah.
Right? No excuses.
You had a very valid excuse.
Yes, you had a medical emergency.
Yes. Sorry about that. Yes.
We've been
But
talking
still,
a lot
I mean-
about our show. Didn't you mention something about having an online stream that's similar to a podcast yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that.
So through Spreaker, like there's
Oh, we know Spreaker.
Yes.
yeah, it's pretty much like, I mean, yeah, through that, I mean, like so there's this band in Germany. They were called Darkroom, and
Ooh, that sounds
they,
cool.
yeah, they're pretty cool. They're like an really experimental, like avant-garde band, and what they did, like, instead of like putting out, when they first started doing music, instead of recording records and putting it out or whatever, or releasing tracks, they were like, well, they decided to distribute their music through like the platform of podcasting. And what they would do was that they would record like a half-hour like improvisational kind of like weird noise kind of set,
Yeah.
and
Right.
so that kind of got me thinking, and I was like, hey, that would be kind of cool to do, and so I have I guess they're episodes, quote unquote, but it's like pretty much sets, they're like sets of tracks that I have been writing or wanting people to listen to or whatever. It's kind of crazy because it's like it's totally normal to do that now, I guess, or people are doing it more normally, the corona stuff. But yeah, I just started doing that, as kind of like I don't know, like just to see, like, I thought that was like a kind of a cool idea that they had, and I think it's a cool way for people that maybe wouldn't find out about my music for them to
Mhm.
and I think it's just kind of, I don't know, I think it's somewhat in the like kind of breaking new ground kind of
Oh yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like just trying new ideas and stuff like that, as far as like getting your stuff out to the world.
Where can our viewers find all of your music and your episodes that you speak of?
Yeah, you can go to brianhardy.wordpress.com to hear my music. It's just, I mean, / music.
Yes,
but
it was actually, yeah.
You can just go there and like
So it's
click on the
Brian
music.
Hardy
Yeah,
dot.
Brian.wordpress.com.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, .com. Whoops.
Yeah. And there might actually, yeah, since my Reverb Nation page got taken down, it probably just has a blank like little window when you click.
Oh, I'm so sorry that happened. Oh, thank you, Crash, for saving
I
me.
get to
You're awesome. Yeah,
Teamwork.
I
Sweet. Yeah, thank you.
about your Reverb Nation. Did you contact Reverb Nation directly to figure out what happened?
Dude, I have no idea what's going on. Like I did contact them, and I haven't heard anything from them. Just
I'm
one day I tried
maybe
to
they're
sign
shut
in.
down too. Just the whole world.
Really?
Done.
Yeah,
I
it was just like,
really
it was
have no
like-
idea. I don't know.
It was really
You would think
ridiculous.
there would be some troll like at his computer, just like, oh.
That's how I picture all of the trolls. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what
Whatever.
happened.
If
Like,
you're gonna be a troll, you're gonna be made fun of. Don't be a troll.
yeah, well, yeah, and yeah, I don't know what happened. They just like my it just wasn't there all of a sudden, and I sent them an email asking what was up, and
Have you been inactive for like years and years?
no, like I
They're
was
just like F you.
on their like popular listening charts or whatever. I was number one in the world for like the genre of experimental music or whatever.
Wow.
And I mean, and yeah, so I mean, like, and yeah, and then
That's awesome.
it was gone, and like, so it really sucked. Like, so now I have a SoundCloud page.
You got two options.
And,
They were like, nope.
yeah, I was just like, I can't really remember if there was any tracks on there that I had not saved, like on a drive or whatever.
Huh.
But anyways, but now I'm going
That's
with SoundCloud, and it's all good. I'm hoping to hear back from them. I mean, I kind of would like a refund for the month that I paid for that they didn't have.
Ooh.
You know what? Good for you. Yeah. Yeah, you should be able to get that back.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be able to recover your account because they don't want to have to do that.
Yeah, I'm really like I have a feeling that it might have to do with the 2018 like music copyright consensus thing that happened. Like because I was using a lot of loops and stuff like that, and I like this actually happened on SoundCloud, where someone sent me a message saying that one of my tracks had they were like it seems that your track, I think I had just titled it demo, and they were like, it seems that your track demo could possibly contain a part of, they were called like instrumental gorillas or something like that, or not, no, it was like something like funk instrumentals or something.
Huh.
It was because of like a loop, just like a little wah noise looping that had come from the same like software or something.
Oh
And
my God, seriously?
they had made sure to copyright it and everything like that. And that wasn't
Facebook tried to shut down Musicians Hangout once because one of our guests had something on his TV running in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody tried to say, somebody tried to say that we were airing it on. It was like, that was, somebody was watching that in the background in their living room trying to air it. I appealed it, and I won the appeal.
In 2018, they like put some hardcore like revisions on all copyright like laws and stuff, and so it's like, I mean, even if you're not even necessarily like they're like super hardcore about it now. Like even if it's not even where like it's not even like where you would necessarily be possibly stealing a part or anything like that. It's like, it's just like, it's like a sound that could possibly sound like a part,
Right. We ran into issues like that. Back in 2016, we covered Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit.
Yeah.
And we just posted that. It was acoustic. It was done in a coffee shop in Port Townsend, Washington. And Warner Brothers actually sent us a little warning that they own the copyright to that, and we're not allowed to make any money. And we were like, we didn't make money off of that. We were just
right. Yeah. The same thing you said.
We removed it.
Yeah, like in Portland, when back in the days when I would be playing the Paris Theater, like people from ASCAP would be always coming to the shows there to make sure bands weren't playing other bands' songs. And it kind of sucked because it's like some bands had only been together, they hadn't even been together long enough to write, a set of original songs. And so they would maybe have like one or two of their original songs, and then have covers, for the rest of the set. And yeah, it really made a lot of us like, nervous because it was like, dude, we're not making any money off this.
Right.
We're doing it like just
for fun.
Yeah, for fun.
Yeah, I hear you. Like that's what we were doing too. Another time, one of our songs, and I believe it was Maybe Took Too Soon, I think, one of our singles. We were playing it live, and it was on our Facebook Live. And then I don't remember what the entity was, got a hold of us, and they told us that we couldn't cover Evanescence. And we were like, we're not. So I like Evanescence, but I don't know even how to play an Evanescence song. I don't.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, that's
we
crazy.
had to reveal that, we had to prove that. And it was like, that's our song.
Yeah. It's always kind of like,
I mean, I guess thank you, but
you feel, it's like you kind of feel like icky or something when it's like, what did I do? Like, geez, like
leave me alone. How do you even find me? Like,
yeah, right.
like, what am I doing? That is so weird that you need to like talk to me about this.
Yeah.
So, Brian, before we end our show, we got about 9 minutes left. What are some milestones or something that you are looking forward to in the future, when this is all lifted, etc.? Like, what do you have coming up?
Well, I have 2 releases that I'm super late on delivering it to sending it to Interpunk, sending them to Interpunk to sell, but like I've just, because I've been having such a hard time with like choosing tracks like to use, like because I have these 2 releases that they have agreed to sell, to distribute for me, and I want one of them to be kind of like one thing and then another to be another thing, you know what I'm saying? One thing I want to make sure though to get on there is some recordings of work, the one recording that I have been able to only find, unfortunately, from when I was recording and writing with Mike Pitts of Neptune Skyline, Neptune Skyline. And he, unfortunate, because he passed away a couple months ago, I believe, and he was definitely like a Portland icon. He was signed
heard about
to Sub Pop
thing. It really shook the industry up here too when we heard about
really?
it.
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't know. I mean, like, these were like the last recording sessions that he did, and I found actually a demo of. I found one recording of a song that he just was like, "Hey, hit record. I want to lay this down," and it's like it's really emotional because it's like he plays it beautifully, and it's called Sour Apple Tree, and I think I'm actually gonna post it on my Facebook. Like, a lot of people have been like, give me that. You
were so fortunate to have something so special.
Yeah, he was and him and I became really good friends over probably the last 5 years he was alive. We were really good friends, and so I want to make sure to get I'm gonna I have to scour through my files and everything to find the recording sessions, because we had only gotten to, he was recording the last Neptune Skyline album, but we had only gotten to the point of being able to record a couple like really rough sessions, and so they're like somewhere in a Google Drive, and so I've been looking for those, and the one that I found I mixed. And what's that?
You get to go treasure hunting.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's a very tedious though, because it's like, you're listening, like there's tape, and because we were recording a lot of stuff on just cassette too, and so there's like a lot of tapes that it's like I just have to press play and kind of listen to see, you know, because it's like I made the mistake, of course, of not labeling them, and so yeah, but yeah, that's I don't know. He, you know, it was really, yeah, of course, a bummer. Like how when he passed away, there wasn't really anybody. Like he and you know he had kind of isolated himself, um, and unfortunately, yeah, it was kind of it was sad, you know. But he was a very, 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 very amazing, just genius songwriter. Just genius, and I want to make sure to, you know, pay homage because he was a very big influence on me. He, you know, he had, you know, like everybody, struggled with a lot of stuff, which unfortunately got the best of him. But, you know, yeah, I feel really lucky to have had the time that I did with him.
That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome that you got that.
So yeah, that's a milestone, you know.
We'll be able to honor him too. That's really beautiful.
I mean, I definitely feel a, you know, kind of a, I think that it would be terrible to like kind of not let the world hear, you know, the beautiful stuff he made.
Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah, music lives on forever, man. That's what's so incredible about it, is that you can create something that outlives you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And speaking of which, so I'm gonna do a shameless plug for my bandmate.
Heck yeah!
About stuff. So, Joseph Kelly, my bass player, has a website design company called Thoughtform Consulting. So, definitely check him out. He uses WordPress, and it's awesome. He is super amazing at it, super fast. He can get it done pretty quickly. Although keep in mind that websites do take a minute to develop, of course. And here is his website stuff. Thoughtform Consulting.
Oh, cool.
And that is for Thoughtform Consulting website design. Definitely check him out. And
for sure, I will. Yeah.
Awesome. Your domain today, musicians hangout. We are going through Joseph also.
Yes. So he's building our website as we speak, because since we're, you know, hitting our milestone of a year, we're starting to see how much we've grown and what direction we need to go in. So
congratulations on all your guys' like success. You guys have that's really awesome. Like it's really awesome.
It's been crazy.
I bet, yeah.
It doesn't feel like we're really, we just like hanging out with bands and talking to different musicians. Like
totally, yeah.
That's funny really.
It's funny how that's kind of how it happens. You know, it's like, yeah, it's like we're just doing our thing. You know.
Yeah, I think it's cool that like it's catching on because. Like I said, you know, we just want to hang out with different musicians around the world. We want to promote everyone.
Yeah.
Because music is so, it's bilingual, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Music is absolutely universal. Yeah.
And again,
like Joseph says, thank you so much, Joe. You were so welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe.
Well,
and Brian, thank you for being on the show tonight.
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you so much.
Left.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to promote yourself again. Go ahead and tell our fans where they can find you so that they can, you know, look you up.
Okay. Yeah, just go to brianhardy.wordpress.com. Gosh, I believe my SoundCloud address is soundcloud.com/FSTFF network. Fair Stand the Fields of France. That's the name I play under. So just go ahead and Google that.
Okay.
Sorry, I know that's a long name, but if you just go to,
I love that.
If you just go to brianhardy.wordpress.com, everybody can find links to my music, and there's also spoken word and other stuff there too.
Heck
So we
yeah.
have the Brian Hardy at wordpress.com.
Correct.
Yeah, check
And
it
then
out.
we have Fair Stay in the Field, France.
Yes.
Definitely check them out.
And thanks again, Brian. We totally appreciated having you on the show. It was really fun.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you too. Thank you so much. I hope I was a good guest and everything.
Absolutely. You were fabulous.
Absolute
You
honor
were
to be
very
on here.
fun.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very professional. Loved it.
Thank you. Awesome.
Don't
it's
forget
definitely
for your hiccups, try a pickle sometime.
Oh, I will. I'll remember that. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Hickle. All right, kids. So
All right.
that will do this evening in this episode of Musicians Hangout. So come back next week. We have Reina from Siren Drain.
Ooh. And check out our anniversary concert on May 15th.
Oh yes,
Definitely
I
gonna
definitely
watch
will.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Heck yeah. All right. Take us out. All right, everyone. It's been great. Good night.
We'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye.